All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rob St. Clair with Volleyball Source with victorious coach John Speraw. John, I'm not sure who's happier about that, you or me.
Oh, okay.
Because the humiliation that I would have faced interviewing you with Canada face paint and tattoos.
Oh, that was the wager?
He's got on the other side of his shirt.
Oh, yes.
So and he'll turn it around when he's ready.
Right.
But
he got the better end of the deal. You should have gone for the face paint too.
As soon as we're not so lopsided in terms of hypothetical betting odds, then the wager might be a little more even. But I'm not sure if that was the prettiest game you guys could have ever played, and still a 3-0 victory. Give me a quick conclusion on how you guys learned how to win, maybe not with your best stuff.
That's exactly right. It wasn't our smoothest match. I think it's hard to pinpoint in one little snapshot because I think each set was a little bit different, right? The first set got off to a nice lead, then really struggled with that float serve reception in row one. And then how did we get out of that? And then it was just, I think that was a little bit more emotional resilience because all of a sudden we got put on our heels a little bit. And how did we respond? We weren't connecting very well. Each set had some problem that needed to be solved. Each one was a little different. I think each player went through a certain period of time in the match where they weren't doing one particular thing well. Sure. But I thought in general that they all came back great.
That's a skill, and I think it's a good one, maybe to practice this early in a VNL. I learned something earlier today about this year's tournament. Is there something new about number of timeouts and when they're able to be called? Is there do you lose one if you don't call it by point 12? Is that why you called one after we won a point at 11 or something? Is there something to that?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So you lose one at 12 if you don't use it. And so it was right there, and I really had a couple things I wanted to say in that set, and it ended up working out great.
You sure did.
We went on a little run after that, and so, yeah, it was just one of those moments. And when you're at that point, but you're up by 3 or 4, and you're rolling, and you want to keep the momentum going, you don't want to do that. But in a battle, I thought it was worth trying. I had been thinking about it, and it worked.
It did. That was a new wrinkle. I didn't even know about it until today, and it took me a while to figure out why on earth would you call a timeout after a point that you just cited out, but that makes a lot of sense. The almost platooning that you're able to do with your middles must be an amazing luxury. I think all of them are playing phenomenal, even despite some missed connections today. What do you like out of all 4 of your middles and the ability to kind of interchange them like that?
Right. I think each one has a little bit of a different skill set, so it allows us to mix and match with intention. Dave is all around so experienced, so steady. He's been serving a lot better over the last couple years. Max is back. It's great. Gives us a little bit more size. Jeffrey is
the libero over there.
Yeah, and that always trips people out. So the other rule that everyone needs to know is that you get to choose from your 14 who the libero is. And this week we traveled 3 opposites because we weren't sure about Maddie's ankle, and so we needed to choose a different libero before each set. So sometimes you look over there and wonder what coach is thinking with the middle. So we're choosing somebody else now each match to put a libero.
Well, yeah, you've got to dress 2, and it makes sense. If you've got a guy you know you're not going to play him, make him the new tallest libero in USA history. Why not?
Right. I think it's going to be tough to beat Jake Haynes because I did that a couple years ago.
There was a George Human libero once upon a time as well.
Yes, boy, it's a battle. I'd have to go back and look at the height chart, see who was it. Yeah.
So last but not least, this weekend is Brazil tomorrow. USA Brazil is must-see TV, and I don't know if you guys were standing in the tunnel watching the end of the game before, but Brazil-Cuba was unbelievable. And Brazil might have a couple questions to answer. So early thoughts on that particular matchup for tomorrow afternoon.
Always a traditional big battle. Like you said, a lot of people are really excited to see that matchup. So many good matches over the years. Totally. Can't even count.
One in 2008 comes to mind.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I mean, shoot, the one in 2016 too, and when we had to win that one. I mean, so many, right? So, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a short turnaround for us, yes. Short turnaround for them. So we'll have to go evaluate lineups and see how guys are feeling, and then we'll see what we do.
Well, congratulations. That was a huge match in front of an amazing crowd. I'm excited to talk to some of the players about that. And thank you for making me not have to paint my face with a maple leaf.
That would have been a bad look, so I'm glad it worked out.
I agree. It did work out. Thanks,
right.
Coach. Well done.
Okay, thanks. All right.